The truth about Akitas that no one tells you? It's not just that they're powerful, dignified, or incredibly loyal. It's that they are one of the most emotionally complex and deeply misunderstood breeds you could ever share your life with. Behind those statuesque postures and regal expressions lies a soul unlike any other, a spirit both wild and wise. They aren't just a dog breed, they are a psychological partner, a mirror of your emotional state and a sentinel of your environment. And unless you understand the subtle language they speak, you may never unlock the full depth of what it means to truly connect with an Akita. People often fall in love with the image, the proud stance, the thick coat, the alert gaze. An Akita looks like a warrior, and in many ways they are. They were bred to guard, to protect, to act without hesitation when the moment calls for it. But what most don't realize is that this strength comes hand in hand with emotional depth. They're not reactive. They're responsive. And when they make a decision, it's never careless. It's calculated, grounded, final. There's a deliberateness to every move they make, a kind of calm that can't be taught, only cultivated over centuries of careful breeding for wisdom, not just power. Here's the first truth most people overlook. Akitas don't come to you. You must come to them. Not physically, but emotionally. You must create an environment of trust so steady, so predictable, that they begin to let their guard down. That's when you see it. The shift. The way their body relaxes when you enter the room. The way they glance at you, not for approval, but to check your state. Akitas are emotional mirrors. They won't tolerate chaos, not in their world and not in yours. Their calm is their power, and they expect you to match it. You may think they're being stubborn when they don't respond immediately, but what they're really doing is reading you. Is this command fair? Is it necessary? Is your tone balanced, or are you projecting tension? They won't blindly obey, and thank goodness for that, because it means that when they do respond, it's coming from a place of choice, of trust, of alignment with your energy. That moment when an Akita chooses to listen isn't compliance. It's a handshake, a mutual agreement built on silent negotiation. This is where the internal conflict begins for many owners. We're used to dogs who seek affection, approval, and validation, but Akitas don't play that game. They're not interested in being your emotional sponge. They require emotional clarity. If you're inconsistent, moody, or passive-aggressive, they won't absorb that energy. They'll push it back. With distance, with stillness, with silence. That silence? That's not disinterest. It's a test, a challenge. Can you lead with calm conviction? Can you create emotional safety, not just physical structure? This is the language of the Akita, and it's why so many fail with this breed. Because they don't want a master. They want a guardian of the environment, a steward of peace. When they look to you, they're not asking for permission. They're asking for assurance. Can you be my peace when the world turns loud? That's their question. And your answer has to come from your presence, not your commands. Let's talk about the home. When an Akita enters your life, they scan the territory. They learn the sounds, the rhythms, who belongs and who doesn't. It might take weeks or even months for them to fully settle in. But when they do, their presence becomes part of the home's foundation. Not loud, not demanding, just there. Always watching, always aware. They move like shadows, silent, watchful, constant. Not a pet, but a presence. Guests will notice it. That dog is so calm, but you'll know better. You'll know that calm is not passivity, it's purpose. That silence is not apathy, it's presence. Your Akita may not jump on visitors or seek cuddles from strangers, but they'll always know where everyone is. And if something shifts, an argument, a raised voice, a sudden movement, you'll see them subtly move, reposition, observe, because peace is their responsibility. This takes us to their role with children. Akitas can be phenomenal with kids, but only when boundaries are crystal clear. They're not naturally playful like a golden retriever. They're guardians, supervisors. They watch from the sidelines, not out of distance but out of duty. And while they can tolerate a great deal, they expect the same level of respect in return. Children must be taught how to engage. Calm hands, clear boundaries, no teasing. And when that mutual respect is taught, You get something extraordinary, an unshakable sense of security, where your child is always under watchful eyes. Now, let's talk conflict. Akitas are not fighters by default, but they are defenders. If provoked, if they sense a breach of trust or safety, they won't make a scene. They'll act swiftly, with precision. That's why early, ongoing socialization isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. They must learn what is threat and what is not. Who is family and who is guest? What is noise and what is danger? The mistake many make is thinking socialization will make their Akita love everyone. It won't. It will make them understand everyone. And that's more important, because an Akita who understands the world becomes a confident, grounded dog. One who chooses not to engage unless truly necessary. And that kind of restraint, when paired with power, is the most remarkable trait of all. You'll also discover a secret most Akita owners quietly treasure: their dog's humor. Yes, humor. When they're comfortable, truly comfortable, they reveal a goofy, playful side that's rarely seen. A galloping zoomy, a low, rumbling vocalization that sounds almost like talking. A paw rested on your lap not for command, but connection. And it's in these rare, fleeting moments that the bond deepens. Because that silliness, that joy, that's not performance, that's trust incarnate. And yet, owning an Akita can also be emotionally taxing, because they will test you, not with bad behavior, but with indifference, with distance. And it's in those moments you'll question yourself. Am I doing this right? Does my dog even like me? But what you'll come to learn is that the Akita's love language is presence, not performance. They show up, quietly, steadily, faithfully. And when you truly see that, it changes you. Let's go deeper still. Imagine a stormy night. Thunder, rain lashing the windows. You're anxious, uneasy, and then you notice it. Your Akita lying near the door, perfectly calm. Not because they're unaware, but because they're grounded. They've assessed the threat, and they've made a decision. You're safe, and that calm bleeds into you. Because that's what they do. They transfer peace. Contrast that with the times you've had a bad day. Tension in your shoulders, frustration in your voice, and the Akita withdraws. Not out of fear, but to avoid amplifying the chaos. They're not emotionally needy, but they are emotionally aware. And if your energy is off, they'll avoid the ripple effect, because they've evolved to be protectors of harmony, not participants in disorder. Their presence is conditional, tied to balance, not obedience. This is why many Akita owners speak of a spiritual bond. Something beyond affection, beyond obedience. It's a partnership forged in silence, in presence, in mutual respect. A dog that doesn't just follow commands, but aligns with your energy. A dog that doesn't just live in your house, but becomes part of your emotional architecture. They don't ask for space. They take only what you offer in calmness and clarity. So what does it truly take to earn this kind of relationship? It takes consistency, calm, patience. It takes humility, the willingness to be questioned, mirrored, challenged. It takes presence, not just being in the room, but being available. Mentally, emotionally, because your Akita is watching, always. Not to judge, but to decide. Are you worthy of my trust? And when you are, they'll offer you more than protection, more than companionship. They'll offer you stillness. In a world of noise, they become your silence. In a life of chaos, they become your anchor. And in the depth of that stillness, you'll find a kind of peace you didn't know you needed. The peace that comes from being seen. Not with excitement, but with understanding. So here's the real truth about Akitas, the one no one tells you. They don't love easily, but when they do, it's total. They don't trust quickly, but when they do, it's unwavering. They don't follow blindly, but when they do, it's because you've earned it. They are not for everyone. But for those who meet them halfway, who lead with patience, clarity, and calm, there is no richer, deeper, more sacred connection. So if you're ready to be still, to be consistent, and to be real, then maybe you're ready for an Akita. Drop a comment if you've ever lived with this magnificent breed, or if you're thinking about it. And if you want to compare the Akita to other emotionally intense breeds like the Rottweiler, the Belgian Malinois, or the Cane Corso, click the next video. Because this journey of understanding isn't about dogs, It's about becoming the kind of human a dog like this can trust. And when that trust is mutual, when it runs both ways, you'll never look at loyalty the same again.